Learning our inversions is integral to mastering our chords. And starting out with triads, we have a root position, we have first inversion and second inversion. So by now, we would have known that a triad can be described as root, third, and fifth. Those are the chord tones from the respective scale that we use. So root, third, and fifth are 1, 3, and 5. The same thing. So looking closely at this C major triad that we're familiar with, if we play the chord in this order, 1, 3, 5, that will be described as a root position. But if we take that one and carry it up the top and play 3, 5, 1, and the third is now in the bass, that's first inversion. And if we do the same again and carry the third up top, and we play 5, 1, 3, that's second inversion. Or we could play 5, 1, 3. So a root position chord occurs when the 1 is in the bass. A first inversion occurs when the third is in the bass. And by bass, I mean the lowest note in that chord. And when the fifth is the lowest note of the chord, it's the second inversion. Right? And for each of our inversions, there is a middle note, right? That middle voice. So we can do even more to those inversions. So if we look at the root position, 1, 3, and 5, and we take that middle voice, which is the third, and we carry it down an octave, we'll get 3, 1, and 5, right? And we refer to that as a drop 2 voicing. So in a drop voicing, we count the voicing from the top, 1, 2, 3. And the voicing that we count as 2, we carry that down an octave. Hence, the chord now spans beyond an octave. So we have the third here, we have the 1, and we do not play this third here, and we go to the fifth. Or we could have played that chord like this. So 3, 1, 5, or 3, 1, 5. Right? And if you notice, in both positions, we're skipping strings. So now we're looking at drop voicings. Drop voicings occur when we take the middle voice in each inversion and carry that down by an octave. So if we take the first inversion now, which we had played earlier, and we take that middle voice here, which is a G, and we carry it down by an octave, this is what we get. And if we take the second inversion now, right, which has the fifth in the bass, fifth as the lowest note, and we take that middle voice here, which is a 1, and we carry it down an octave, and we keep the other notes, we get 1, 5, 3. So you notice in each shape, we are skipping strings, right? So these are drop voicings, drop 2 voicings. So we are taking those voicings, and whatever note is in the middle between the lowest note and the highest note, we take that note and drop it an octave. So we play an octave of that note, and hence we get shapes which we are now skipping strings, right? So we end up with shapes like these. And this is a general rule of thumb for triads. So we can have drop 2 voicings for each inversion of the triad. So now we can play the triad in root position, first inversion, second inversion. And then now we have 3 more ways where we can take the middle voice from each voicing and drop it down an octave. And how do we practice this? We can actually use those same cage shapes to help us to practice those drop voiced triads. So in each cage position, we can start each drop voiced shape on with the various chord tones. So we can take that first degree, that root, and we know that we are doing, instead of doing 1, 3, 5, we're doing 1, 5, 3, right? So we're ensuring that we are skipping strings. Within that position now we can also do that 5, 3, 1 and also that 3, 1, 5. And if we go up to the next position now we can do 5, 3, 1. We can do 1, 5, 3. And we can even do 3, 1, 5. And continuing up, we can do 1, 5, 3 here. And going up to the third, we can do 3, 1, 5. We can do 5, 3, 1. So next cage position that we do, we can do 1, 5, 3, 3, 1, 5, and then we do 5, 3, 1. Going up again here in this shape, we can start here with 3, 1, 5. And we can do 5, 3, 1. Then 1, 5, 3. Continuing up, we can do 1, 5, 3. And we can do 5, 3, 1 or 5, 3, 1. And then we can do 3, 1, 5. So we're using those same cage shapes, right? And picking out those drop voicings. So we're starting each drop voicing from the various chord tones, right? So we're looking for the 1, the 3, and the 5. And then we're playing 1, 5, 3. Then we are playing 3, 1, 5. And then we are playing 5, 3, 1. And we carry those voicings in every shape of the cage system. And similarly, we can do the same for minor chords by just lowering the third, and then we can carry it to the diminished chords, even augmented. All triads, this will apply. So for the minor triads, we take the third in each of those shapes and we flatten it. So for example, that first shape there, we get something like this. Right? Or due to that flattened third, we may have some shapes maybe impractical to hold, though I must admit. But just so you understand the concept. So we are flattening the third now. And we can experiment with that also up the neck. And for the diminished, we would do the same, but now we would flatten that fifth. And it becomes more technical as we start to make adjustments, but that's the concept. So let's do a few. So once we start delving into drop voicings, now we realize how many options we do have. So if you enjoyed this lesson and you'd like to become more masterful with your chords on the guitar, click the link in the description below to access the full Chord Master course. You can also become a member of the community, the Patreon community, as the course is also there. Or you can visit gotsoulmusic.com.